Hey everybody, this is your friend Jim Austin with Jim Austin Online, and I am excited. Another day is here. We getting ready for Black History Month. We getting ready for Valentine's Day weekend, and I am so excited. You are now on the Austin File, which is a podcast that I do to talk to interesting people, to talk about commercial real estate, and to make sure that you know what's going on in the Metroplex. And today I have a real special guest. We're up here in the Stockyards at the Stockyards Recording Studios. We're in my podcast studio. If you want to do your own podcast, check me out. Come on out. But this is my show. I control it. I ask the question. Sometimes I get guests that try to take over my show. So I hope today we don't have one of them, but we'll work with it. But I just met her, and I'm going to take my mask off, okay? Because I want y'all to see me and how excited I am today to be here. But I met this person that I'm going to interview, Abigail Dudek.
Yes.
I got it.
You did. You did great.
With Tarrant County 911. And she bought Cell Phone Sally out. And I fell in love with Cell Phone Sally. And I got a chance to interview with the mayor, and we had fun. We were out there for Family Fun Day, a day of giving, sponsored by the Western Heritage Museum. We had about 200 kids. We had horseback riding. We had rock climbing. We had archery. And something else we had out there, that was just a lot of fun. But Abigail, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Austin File for my podcast today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here and to be a new member of your family here. It's a great organization, and what a great tribute for Fort Worth to have you here.
Well, Abigail brings a lot of gifts around children. And I have a relationship with 911. I was chairman of the board of Tarrant County 911 for about 10 years. So I know the policy. And we're going to talk about, how 911 is paid for and what you get and what you need to do and what you need your children to do in case they have to call 911. Where did you grow up?
I grew up, actually born and raised in Central Illinois. And I moved to Texas. Well, I always say I got smart and moved south to Texas in June of 2012.
Sure. And how long you been with the agency?
I've been with Tarrant County 911 District Office for now over 4 years.
4 years. Well, they got a good one. So, baby, they got a good one. And, she bought me my own mask. And, let me put it back on in style and, do my modeling. So...
It looks great on you.
It looks great on me.
Great.
So I got my mask. But as I said, we're getting ready for Black History Month, and we're working on a project in February the 19th. We're going to go down and see the herd run. We're going to go to the rodeo, and they have a new program of Children Are Free. So Tarrant County 911 will be there and giving out goodies, how the kids should protect themselves. Then that night, we're going to see Jimmy Allen. He is a famous country and western singer, and he's African American. They say apparent heir to Charlie Pride, but I'm so excited. It just turned out. But let's go, Abigail. Let's tell what happens over at Tarrant 911, what we need to know. Okay, and you can take your mask off.
We are socially distanced from each other.
We got about
space.
5.5 feet.
We're good. Yes, we are a short person away from each other here, so we're good.
Sure. And make sure as you tell 911, tell about my new friend, Cell Phone Sally.
Your new girl, Cell Phone Sally.
Yes.
We us at Tarrant County 911 District, to put it in the most practical way for people to think about what we do. I always say, think of that awesome aunt or uncle who just takes care of you and takes care of everything, kind of always like, oh yeah, that rich aunt and uncle or whatnot. I mean, we don't, not rich aunt and uncles, but we want to provide to take care of everybody in Tarrant County, meaning the dispatch centers that are in the county, which we oversee 33 of them, and provide technology, training, and I provide 911 education to the whole county. And Tarrant County is actually, based on some statistics I've seen recently, is one of the 5th largest growing counties in America right now.
Wow.
Everybody who's anybody's moving to Tarrant County.
Sure.
So you're gonna make all new sorts of friends, Jim. I think it's gonna
you
happen.
know what my real job is, Abigail?
What's that?
Commercial real estate.
Oh, you're gonna be just fine.
I am the Fresh Prince of commercial real estate.
I love it.
And if you want to buy, sell, or lease commercial real estate, and that's everything but houses.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my deal. So
I think you're going to be okay. I think hearing that's just put a big twinkle in your eye, because it's Tarrant County is, we're up to what, 2.1 billion or
million.
2.1 million people. Sorry,
Yeah.
It'll be billion someday here.
Mhm.
Million people, and that's even grown pretty high step from when I started at the district in that short period of time of just over 4 years. So to me, I always call it, I have a huge backyard to play in, so which is great. But we provide free training to all dispatchers, even if they're out of Tarrant County. We'd like to ensure that the dispatcher that's answering your emergency call has the best of the best training and the most up-to-date certifications. And dispatching has changed over the years. Coming from a family who my mother was a dispatcher, it's so different now. They're held accountable as in getting their education. They have to be certified. They have to be licensed in the state of Texas now, so they have to pass a test before they ever go in there and put the headset on, and keep up those certifications so that they're up to date with the latest policies or procedures, and to answer calls and to be able to handle any situation the best way possible.
Yes. It was the fact when you dial 911 in Tarrant County, you get someone that answers your phone. And sometimes I'm going down the highway, and I live on I-30, and there's a grass fire over there, and boom, 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 boom. 911, hey, there's a grass fire. Y'all better get on over here. They say, oh, yeah, we know. We've already had 20 calls. Mr. Austin, you're late, okay?
Aw.
So, yeah.
But that's completely okay, too. And that's something also.
Yeah.
We all know these crazy highways we have here, 820, Airport Freeway, 35, and the accident. Let's talk about the accident. Everybody sees an accident, and everybody's like, oh, someone's already calling. Here's my best advice as the public educator for the county. Go ahead and still call. Because you never know what the subject matter of how that accident occurred. Could have been a hit and run, and you might have information that someone else might not have that could help first responders in that situation. So never rely that someone, or never assume that someone else has already called with appropriate information.
That's me. I mean,
Okay,
that's me. No, there's a big ass box in the middle of the street. Hey, y'all better come get this box out of the middle of the street before it takes someone's radiator and motor out or kill somebody.
It's always important. I have my own personal philosophy is, be proactive, not reactive. And because you don't know what's going to happen. And even I was a dispatcher for 8 years, and I remember a call that I took, and this gal called in what she believed was a suspicious vehicle. And, I've never seen this car. And, of course, it's kind of like, people could have friends over and things like that. But she was concerned about it. We sent someone out there, and it turns out that car was part of a pretty severe crime. And so that really helps. So that's never be afraid to call 911. That service is for the public, for the public to utilize. And if I always say, in your gut feeling, if you feel it's an emergency, call. Okay? That's the most important thing, because I never want someone to be afraid to call or question to call, because just like our logo says for Tarrant County 911 District, seconds count. Then you want to be able to get the help that you need. And even if you're like, I think it's an emergency, be honest with them. Tell them. Say, I just got a really bad feeling about this. Can you check it out? That's what they're there for. That's why they call it public safety. And that's what's great about our county, too, is the cost of 911. Everybody nationally pays a 911 service fee, and it's located on the bottom of your cell phone bill, and it'll say 911 emergency service fee. Well, here in Tarrant County, it's only 50 cents. So 50 cents, and guess what? It actually goes to what it says it's going to here in Tarrant County. It actually goes to our office. So we don't put it into the construction on 35, I promise. And it actually goes to our office, and we have actually provided text to 911 last year and new phone systems for all of the 33 dispatch centers in Tarrant County through the past couple of years.
There's so much that we have to cover, and you're probably going to have to come back because, I know what 911 is, and when you say 50 cent is what each person is paying for 911 to answer your call and be ready. So it's been a very high qualified, efficient agency. I'm not going to say largely because I was chairman of the board, but the legacy goes on. So I'm glad to have you here. One of the things that you promote is children's safety or letting children know how to call 911?
Yeah, 911 education for kids. Sadly, because of the pandemic, I had to stop doing the Safety Smart Rally, which is a school program that's free for the schools, and I partner up with Hank FM 92.1, and we actually do a game show style program assembly for the elementary schools between 2nd and 4th grade. And it's fun. They win prizes, and it's just music, and Sally dances in it. Your cell phone Sally gal dances in that show, and it's been a really great thing that we've been running for a couple of years, but again, because of the pandemic, we had to stop. So I do miss that, but I still try to provide digitized copies of my classroom kit for cell phone, the classroom kit that we provide for Cell Phone Sally, and also digitized copies of coloring books and things that I've actually been personally emailing out to parents and teachers and schools and stuff to have for free. All of our services for public education is free to the community.
I mean, great agency, and you don't hear a lot about it. People just expect when they pick their phone up and call 911 that there's going to be a friendly person there that's going to help them. And I just want to tell you, this is your agency, and they're doing a heck of a job, and we're so fortunate in Tarrant County to have Tarrant County 911.
To have a district office, and it's
Yes.
and it's a rarity. Not everybody, not too much a rarity, but it is a rarity nationwide to have 911 district offices. Majority of the time, your 911 fees will just go into the city that you live in, just like your tax dollars. Dallas doesn't have a district office, but here in Tarrant County, we do. So we don't actually do any dispatching. We just support and make sure that everything is running well in Tarrant County and folks get educated.
Your contact, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, because you're outreach, you're everywhere. You're like Jim Austin. You're everywhere. We had so much.
Everywhere.
We had so much fun at the Family Fun Day.
We did.
The Day of Caring. We raised 150 blankets for the homeless.
That's so
We
fantastic.
raised about 1,000 cans, 500 cans of food for the feed the homeless. We just had a good time that day.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I love partnering up with community agencies or organizations like yourself and so many others like Girls Inc. and everything. It's just, we have to show how much we all care for each other, and that starts where your heart is, where your heart's going to be at home, and I want to take care of my home and everything in Tarrant County and specifically in Fort Worth too.
And we were having so much fun. We were doing the rally. We were dancing, and we had Cedric was DJ, and then all of a sudden somebody come around and said, "Hey Jim, the mayor just showed up." So Mayor Betsy Price came out and spent about an hour with us. Went and greeted all the kids, and she didn't get on the rock climbing, but she did an interview with me and Channel 5, and we had Cell Phone Sally there.
You and your new bestie, Cell Phone Sally, rocked that interview and looked great. They got your good sides, and you were ready to go for that interview.
Yeah, it was just a good day. The weather was perfect, and we had fun. And I'm excited about partnering with you, and we're talking about going to the rodeo on February the 19th for Black History Month. And we just had finished a competition called Showtime at the Warehouse. And we had 20 young kids compete for a $1,000 prize. And we picked the finals, and we got the final 3. So we're doing a concert in Fort Worth with those kids. We need to talk about that, too, to see how that can get the message out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm an advocate because I know the importance of 911, and it's important to let everybody know that it's their 911 and their opportunity to share, because you hear so many horror stories about not calling, not getting an answer. So tell me about the technology of them knowing where you're at by your cell phone.
The technology is a lot better than what it used to be. We all see these cell phone towers popping up all over. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So we actually have a team of gals at our office that make sure that all these towers are positioned in the right way to go to the appropriate dispatch center that it needs to. And so with the GPS coordinates on your phone, the dispatcher can get a pretty good location of where you're at. It's not accurate. I mean, it's not like right on key, but it's a good radius that we show on our new Vesta phones, again, that we've put into the dispatch centers, where it gives them a nice idea of where they're at. And it can be as close as maybe like a few hundred feet. So that's really good. And as we continue, as the tech team in our building continues their education and learning about new things that are coming out, so that we can look at these opportunities of these programs to implement into this phone, I feel that in the future we're just going to get better and better on getting those exact locations. And hopefully soon in the future, we'll be able to implement I believe it's called the Z axis, where they could be able to go up and tell what floor you're on. Because our one thing that we want, cell phones, again, won't give the exact location. It's it's an X and Y, longitude, latitude, that number that shows up. So that's how the dispatcher finds you, and by retransmitting their phone, they can zero in on you. The only time that doesn't work, if you call from a 911 only phone, so a phone that doesn't have any service provider. So if you do use that for 911, it'll just go to the tower and stay at the tower. It won't bounce back to your phone.
Man, that's some heavy stuff. And then you also got text 911. Yeah, give me on that. Text 911.
The text to 911 we rolled out just this past November of 2020.
Ooh,
yes.
You see, you're learning something on Jim Austin Online that you need to know.
If you want good information, you tune into Jim Austin Online.
Oh, boy.
So,
we got to get her on Facebook Live. And but if you want to know what's going on in North Texas, real quick, tell us about texting 911.
So text to 911 is another tool that's not replacing calling 911. I personally recommend that if you're able to call, still call. If you're not able to, go ahead and give us a text 911, just like you would put in the recipient, like you would for a recipient box, type 911, and immediately make that first text, the location of where the emergency is happening and what the emergency is. They still have the GPS location. It's it's not as fast as when you call, but the dispatcher will be able to get it. And it's great for if you're in a situation where it's not safe to call.
You're being kidnapped, you're locked in a trunk, right. And you're fortunate to have your cell phone. Or unfortunately,
active shooter situations where it's not safe to have a phone up to your ear or something like that, you can text to 911.
Man, Abigail, my new hero. You know, my new hero. I mean, I was so glad to meet you, and you were going on vacation, so I had to wait a whole week to get you on my show. So I got you today. We are on the Austin File, and we are talking to Abigail Dudek?
Dudek, yeah.
Dudek. Oh, yeah, Dudek. Okay, Dudek. So this has been my pleasure. I want to thank you, and I want you to come back. And we're going to be working together. You're going to be working with my team, and I just appreciate you introducing me to Cell Phone Sally.
Well, she just thinks you are the bee's knees.
Oh, bee's knees. Okay.
She says hi.
Okay, yeah. So we got to get her on the show, too. So this is Jim Austin coming to you on Jim Austin Online. Please join my Facebook, join my newsletter, join my YouTube. We've got a big weekend coming up, Valentine's Day weekend. So I want to thank you. I'm going to sign off now. See you next time.